Leaked IDF document proves some stunning facts behind the so-called rise in Jewish violence in Judea and Samaria. The U.S. as well as France are threatening a visa ban on the Jewish settlers. Guys, just hang tight for some crazy stats. Really, this is going to blow your mind. I'm Joshua, and this is the Israel Guys. Welcome back to the Israel Guys, where we believe in a world of Jew hatred and anti-Israel propaganda. You should have a direct connection to the land and people of Israel. Guys, as always, don't forget to subscribe and follow us on social media. Let's dive right into some stats here. Unbelievable stats. And then we'll of course, get into the leaked docs here in a minute. Here it is, straight off the press here. Us and the team, our guys, we've just created this. This is going to blow your mind, literally. Violence by settlers is actually down, so-called settlers, is down by 57%. And this is all in the days following October 7th. So this is the war breaks in Gaza. The atrocities happen in Israel in the south. And following that, you would expect a mass rise in so-called settler violence. This would be citizens being aggressive towards their Arab neighbors, right? This is what the world, the media would call settlers, right? Is this what's happened? No, it's actually tanks. So-called Jewish violence, they call it settler violence against Arabs, tanks. 57% in the 30 days following October 7th. And this is all in comparison to the last year, okay? Now get this, new stat. More than 56% of the so-called, again, settler violence is actually land disputes. So this is being, there's a tussle over land or crops or something like this. So we're not talking about people killing each other. Let's take a look at, there's a 500,000 Jewish population here in Judea and Samaria. 500,000 Jews live here. Let's look at 500,000 city in America. That would be Kansas City. We take 500,000, same, right? Demographically, we're talking about the same size here. Now get this. You're 120 times more likely to be a victim of a violent crime in Kansas City than Arabs in Judea and Samaria, victims of settler violence. 120 more times likely in Kansas City to be a victim of crime than Arabs in Judea and Samaria, a victim of settler violence. And if you're in Chicago, you have a 76% more likely chance of being a victim of crime than you do Arabs living here in Judea. So why is America so fed up with, well, they're just creating a so-called like, guys, this is insane. America's problems right now are so much greater. We're even in a war here. And yet Chicago and Kansas City, if you want to do the demographics, exactly the same numbers. There's a much bigger problem, safety in Kansas City, than Arabs living in Judea and Samaria. I mean, that's a crazy stat. That's an unbelievable stat. Now, okay, moving on. That's just an opening stunner for you. Okay, now we're moving on to the leaked document. This information that I've just done, that's like those are some peak information there. But since October 7th, the IDF has registered 24 incidents, only 3 of which are defined as serious. And we're talking about the whole area here. So we're talking about from and no deaths, right? From 15 of October to the 21st, only 10. All right, so that's the following week. We talked about the first week. Now we're talking about the second week. Only 10 instances of reports of Jewish violence. All right, now we'll move to the third week, 22nd to the 28th, 38, so it climbs up. We're talking about 10 to 38 attacks, right? That's our range. Do you remember what I just told you about Chicago and about Kansas City? Keep that in mind as I'm going through these stats. This is taking the America has to deal with this crazy Jewish violence when it doesn't exist. That's what the point is. It does not exist on any kind of level that anybody should making a big, you're going to make a global instance over the week of October 15th to the 21st, over 10 instances of Jewish people that committed violence, and you have 500,000 people that you're looking at and you have 3 million Arabs over here, and you're going to say 10 instances that Israel deals with by the law, and each one of these instances, don't think that they get away with anything. Not like the Arab side that flaunts and pays the person who is able to commit an attack against a Jew. No, on the Jewish side, the person who goes out on his own, outside of his uniform, as a citizen, goes out and commits an attack, that's called crime, and it's dealt with the full letter of the Israeli law. Okay, so now up until today, if we want to just continue the following weeks since the war, if we go week by week, the figures continually drop. There's been, not like Anthony Blinken states, the State Department is trying to say that Jewish violence, settler violence is spiking, and this is a huge issue. No, it's dropping lower and lower every week. What I'm telling you right now is an insanity. We've got a full month. Over the full month, since October 7th to November 7th, the Israeli police registered 97 instances of illegal activity committed by Jews in Judea and Samaria. Again, that's the entire region of Judea and Samaria, representing 500,000. Again, go to Kansas City, take the stats. What did that group of 500,000 people do over the month between October 7th and November 7th? How many people did they kill? How many people died? How many horrible atrocities happened in Kansas City that we would like to bring to the State Department to actually think about bringing some issues there? Instead, they want to come over here and deal with the 97 issues that had no one killed in the whole thing. Nobody died. Nobody was mortally wounded. 97 instances that have nothing to do with people actually dying, but yet back home, hundreds. Back in America, the situation is way worse. And again, the 97 attacks here, so-called instances of illegal activity, are majority cases of land dispute that deals with agricultural violence and these kind of things. So, get it straight. Hey guys, we'll be right back, but first, discover the beauty of your Hebrew heritage with an exquisite Hebrew name necklace. It's not just an accessory, it's a symbol, a connection, identity, and faith. Imagine wearing a piece that resonates with your roots. Our user-friendly system transforms your English name into a carefully crafted Hebrew name. By wearing this necklace, you're carrying a piece of your heritage, a link to the chosen people and the sacred legacy they bear. Beyond its elegant design, this necklace is a conversation starter. It invites you to share your story and journey of embracing your roots. This is your chance to honor your heritage and connect with the land of Israel in a meaningful, tangible way. Embrace your Hebrew identity, wear your heritage with pride, buy the Hebrew name necklace now, and let it be a daily reminder to you of the profound ties to the roots and sacred legacy of the people of Israel. Click the link in the description below to order your necklace today. Now let's get the statement by Yossi Dagan. He's the head of this region. He's elected official for the Samaria area. He, I quote, says, when the official data from Central Command is combined with the official data of the Israeli Police Judea and Samaria District, which showed a dramatic decrease compared to last year, the conclusion is clear. This settler violence campaign is a blood libel. That's to put it really straight. The American administration right now is following a blood libel against the Jewish state. Here, the Jewish state is in one of the hottest, fiercest battles. Again, that puts us back in the mind of Yom Kippur Wars, the war, and 1967 and 1948. This is a war of survival for the Jewish nation, and America has the audacity to join a blood libel created by Arab propaganda against the Jewish state. That's just to say it bluntly. And how do we, right now, how do we know what's really going down is when the U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken tells Benjamin Netanyahu just this week that they plan to announce a visa ban against Israelis involved in settler violence, acts of violence against their Palestinian neighbors. Now, again, those 97 people that were involved in attacks, you're going to take your precious time as a Secretary of State to make the whole world focus in on 97 people that have committed an attack when America's going ballistic. The stats are outrageous in America. And you're going to focus your special time as a Secretary of State and trying to demonize, because what that does is it makes everyone in the world think, no, he's not dealing with 97 people. He's dealing with hundreds of thousands of evil Jews. No, he's not. He's demonizing the Jewish people by making such a small issue so massive. And that's his intent, and he well knows what he's doing. Unfortunately, the U.S. is not the only one opposing or issuing this announcing that they will be putting in a visa ban. The French also joined in. The French Foreign Ministry published it, saying that they also would enact sanctions against Israelis who committed acts of violence against Palestinian Arabs. So all of this, again, is to try to somehow equate that you have Hamas. Arab Hamas is like vile and evil on this side, and everybody knows it. And they want to try to they're creating it because it doesn't exist, the settler as the equal to Hamas. Guys, do not fall for such an evil blood libel as that. It's nothing more than a libel. We've seen libels throughout the ages. And again, unfortunately, back in the past, we saw governments promoting libels. The U.S. is doing nothing more than exactly the same right now, promoting the fact that 97 people that are being dealt with to the full letter of Israeli law are somehow needing to be banned. Israel will take care of that on this side. There's no reason for America to be banning them. Israel will be dealing with them in their courts and their systems. They're not going to get a visa to America anyway. If they're in the Israeli court system, you're not going to go there. So Israel's dealing with the situation. America is using it to demonize the people of Israel. The French are using it to demonize the people of Israel. As the Consul General of France, Anne Claire, she says, I quote, "We believe that the international community has a role to play to end these acts of violence, which are extremely destabilizing for the region, but also harm the prospects of a two-state solution." So again, we see that these people from the top, these governments are dedicated to doing one thing. They want to create a two-state solution. They see that leaving them quickly. The opportunity of a two-state is disappearing, and they're trying to grasp it with everything they can. They're going to create situations to try to equalize terrorists and settlers. Hamas terrorists and settlers is trying to be like, these are the two entities that are actually they're the same. We have to fight them. We also have to fight them. No, not at all. Do not buy that lie that the world is trying to throw at you right now. Guys, this is what we're here for. We're on the ground. You're getting a voice directly from the heartland of Israel. We live it. We see it. We're part of it every day. And that's what we're here for, is to bring that to you guys. So thanks for being a part of it today. As always, tune out the fake news and tune into what is actually happening here in Israel. We're here every Monday through Friday with your direct connection to the land and people of Israel.